Hey guys, this is Amit and you are watching Tech Dad. In this video, we are going to compare between Poco M3 Pro versus Samsung Galaxy A32, and we will discuss which one is better in camera, performance, display, body of the devices, features, communication chips, and about the prices. In the end of the video, I will tell you which one is better according to me. So watch this video till the end. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Let the comparison start with the camera of the devices. Talking about the rear camera of the devices, M3 Pro have triple camera setup, 48 megapixel of wide camera, 2 megapixel of macro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. Whereas A32 comes with quad camera setup, 64 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera, 5 megapixel of macro camera and 5 megapixel of depth sensor. So clearly the winner here is A32 because it comes with quad camera setup. And about the front camera of the devices, M3 Pro have 8 megapixel of wide camera, whereas A32 have 20 megapixel of wide camera. So the winner here is A32 because it have 20 megapixel of wide camera, which can take low noisy photos in low light condition. Let's talk about the camera features of the devices. M3 Pro have dual LED flash, HDR and panorama, whereas A32 have LED flash, HDR and panorama. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have dual LED flash. And about the video recording options in their devices, M3 Pro can shoot Full HD video max at 30 fps, whereas A32 can shoot Full HD video max at 30 fps. So without a doubt, it's a tie because both of the devices can record at same fps. Moving to the performance of the devices, let's start with the operating system of the devices. M3 Pro have Android 11 support, whereas A32 also have Android 11 support. So it's a tie. And about the user interface of the devices, M3 Pro have MIUI, whereas A32 have One UI. So it's a tie because both of the devices have different UI, so it's up to you which UI you like it or not, it's up to you. Let's talk about the processor of the devices. M3 Pro is powered by Dimensity 700 5G based on 7nm processor, whereas A32 is powered by Helio G80 based on 12nm processor. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have higher processing speed. And about the GPU of the devices, M3 Pro is packed with Mali G57, whereas A32 is packed with Mali G52. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it can give you more FPS in games. Let's talk about the clock speed of the devices. M3 Pro can clock at 2.2 GHz based on octa-core Cortex chipset, whereas A32 can clock at 2.0 GHz based on octa-core Cortex chipset. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it has faster clock speed. And about the RAM variants in the devices, M3 Pro comes with two variants, whereas A32 have three variants, 4, 6 and 8 GB. So clearly the winner here is M3 Pro because it have high speed of RAM. Let's talk about the internal storage of the devices. A32 have two options, 64 and 128 GB. In the other side, M3 Pro comes with two storage options, 64 and 128, whereas A32 also have two options, 64 and 128 GB. So again, the winner here is M3 Pro because it have faster read and write speed. And about the external storage of the devices, M3 Pro have dedicated card slot, whereas A32 also have dedicated card slot. So it's a tie here. Moving to the display features of the devices, let's start with the display size of the devices. M3 Pro have 6.5 inches of display. In the other side, A32 also have 6.4 inches of display. So it's a tie because both of the devices have approximately the same display size. And about the screen to body ratio of the devices, M3 Pro have approximately 83.7%, whereas A32 have 84.6%. So I will call again it's a tie because both of the devices have approximately the same ratio. Let's talk about the screen resolution of the devices. M3 Pro comes with Full HD Plus display. In the other hand, A32 also have Full HD Plus display. So again it's a tie. And about the display type of the devices, M3 Pro have IPS LCD display having 90 Hz of refresh rate, whereas A32 have Super AMOLED display having 90 Hz of refresh rate. So the winner here is A32 because of Super AMOLED can produce sharper images, darker black and vivid colors. Moving to the body features of the devices, let's start with the thickness of the devices. M3 Pro have 8.9 mm of thickness, whereas A32 have 8.4 mm of thickness. So the winner here is A32 because it have slimmer body. Talking about the weight of the devices, M3 Pro have 190 grams of weight, whereas A32 have 184 grams of weight. So the winner here is A32 because it have lighter body weight. Talking about the protective glass of the devices, M3 Pro have Gorilla Glass 3, whereas A32 have Gorilla Glass 3. So I will call it a tie because both of the devices can give you same protection. Let's talk about the build quality of the devices. M3 Pro have plastic back with plastic frame, whereas A32 have plastic back with plastic frame. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same build quality. And about the SIM options in the devices, both of the devices have dual and SIM support, so it's a tie. Moving to some of the most important features of the devices. Let's start with the fingerprint scanner of the devices. M3 Pro have side mounted fingerprint scanner. In the other side, A32 have under display fingerprint scanner. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have faster scanner. And about the sensors in the devices, M3 Pro have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity and compass, whereas A32 also have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity and compass. So again, it's a tie. Let's talk about the battery capacity of the devices. M3 Pro have 5000 mAh of battery capacity, whereas A32 also have 5000 mAh of battery capacity. So clearly it's a tie because both of the devices have same battery capacity. Let's talk about the charging speed of the devices. M3 Pro have 18 watts of fast charging. In the other side, A32 also have 15 watts of fast charging. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it can charge up your device faster. Let's talk about the loudspeaker of the devices. M3 Pro comes with normal speakers, whereas A32 also have normal speakers. So it's a tie here. And about the headphone jack of the devices, M3 Pro have 3.5mm of headphone jack, whereas A32 also have. So it's a tie. Moving to the communication chips in the devices, starting with the WLAN of the devices. Both of the devices comes with Wi-Fi AC, dual band Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi direct and hotspot. So it's a tie here. And about the Bluetooth version of the devices, M3 Pro have 5.1 generation of Bluetooth, whereas A32 also have 5th generation of Bluetooth. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have newer generation of Bluetooth. Let's talk about the positioning chips in the devices. M3 Pro have AGPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS, whereas A32 also have AGPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS. So it's a tie here. And about the USB connectivity of the devices, M3 Pro comes with 2nd gen of Type-C connector, whereas A32 also have 2nd gen of Type-C connector, but it have OTG support. So the winner here is A32 because it have OTG support. Moving to the prices of the devices, in the international market, price of M3 is around $180, whereas A32 is available from $230. In the Indian market, M3 have starting range from 16,000 rupees, whereas A32 have starting range from 20,000 rupees. So the conclusion of the video is, in the camera the winner is A32, in the performance the winner is M3 Pro, in the display the winner is A32, in the body segment the winner is A32, in the features of the device it's a tie, in the communication chips it's a tie, and about the prices the winner is M3 Pro. So the decision is totally yours. Which device you like the most so far, and let me know in the comment below what you think which device is better for you. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you like our content, please like our video, share this video and subscribe to our channel. Comment what you thought in the comment below. If you're watching this video on Facebook, please like our page TechDad, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, here's my Instagram ID on the screen. This is Amit and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.